Hello everyone, welcome to All Chemistry. So, I am here today to tell you about Iupac nomenclature. Look, for basic organic chemistry, that nomenclature is very much important, and maybe you will not get any direct question from nomenclature, but for basics, it is very important. I have got a comment about to upload a video on nomenclature, so this is a very good idea because basic nomenclature we have to know that to solve any question. So to know the basic nomenclature thing, we have to know some basic groups and their priority order. Means which group we will get the first priority and which group we will get the least priority. Now there is many group in organic chemistry: acid, sulfoxide, ester, amide, nitrile, aldehyde, carbonyl, alcohol, thiol, amine. So I have chosen some very important group here. So you can see according to our priority order, first of all comes acid group. So this is our acid group. This is acid group. When we are taking acid group, then we will take its prefix, we will call it carboxy, and as suffix we will call it oic acid. So it comes to our mind what is prefix and what is suffix. Actually prefix is when you have two groups. Suppose you have carboxyl group and you have nitrile group, means cyano group. Now which group you will get priority? You will get the priority acid group. Why? Because from acid to alcohol the priority decreases. Means between acid and nitrile group, cyano group, we will give acid group as our prior group. So when we are taking acid, so we will use its suffix. So we will use the suffix of prior group. And for cyanide we will use the prefix. We will use the prefix of second prior group. So if I give you some examples, so it will get clear to you. So this table is very much important, so note that table, that priority order for these very important groups are at first acid, then ester, then cyanide, then aldehyde, then carboxy or carbonyl, and then alcohol comes. Aldehyde first, then ketocarbonyl comes. And the prefix of acid is carboxy, suffix is oic acid. For ester, prefix is alkoxycarbonyl, suffix is OAT. For cyanide, CN, prefix is cyano and suffix is nitrile. For CHO, aldehyde group, prefix is formyl and suffix is Al. For keto group, prefix is keto or oxo, suffix will be 1, ONE1. For OH, prefix will be hydroxy and suffix will be ol, OL. Now applying these priority groups and prefix and suffix term, we will give examples and we will do nomenclature. Okay. So our first example is, we have CH3, CH2, CH2, iodine. Okay. Now look, the very first thing about nomenclature is you have to give number to the carbons and you have to choose the longest carbon chain. Means if we can put numbering in two ways. One way is we can start numbering from there 1, 2, 3, and we can start numbering from there 1, 2, 3. The red one is wrong one. Why? If we have any substitution, so we have to give the minimum number to the carbon which have the substitution. So we have to start numbering from this side. So right numbering is this. We have to put 1 to this carbon. So what will be that? So this is the wrong numbering. So the above one is the right one. Okay. Now look, we have iodine on carbon 1. So we can say, and we have 3 carbon atoms in that 3 carbon in that atom. So according to our rule, we know that when we have 1 carbon atom, we will say meth. When we have 1 carbon atom, we will say meth. When we have 2 carbon atom, we will say eth. When we have 3, we will say prop. When we have 4, we will say but. When we have 4 carbon atoms, when we have 5 carbon atoms, we will say paint. Now, like that way, we can say meth, eth, prop, but, paint, hex, hept, oct, non, decan. Okay. Now, we will add in or ein after that. We will add in when we have alkane single bond. We will add in when we have alkene double bond. We will add ein when we have alkyne triple bond. Single bond, double bond and triple bond. So the basic structure will be mainly, first of all, we have to write the substituent. How we will write that substituent? We will write that substituent in terms of its prefix. So we have to write the prefix of the substituent first. Then we have to write the number of carbon atom in terms of meth, eth, prop, but, paint. So we have to write number of carbon atom. Then we have to add in, ein, or if we have any other group, prior group, so for that we have to add the suffix for that group. How we will do that for that compound? We will do this like we have iodine on carbon 1. Okay, so we can write 1 iodo. We have carbon atom on we have iodine on carbon 1, so we will say that 1 iodo, 1 iodo, 1 iodo, and we have total 3 number of carbon in the longest chain. So we can say meth, eth, prop, 1 iodo, prop, and this is an alkane. No double bond is here, so this is only single bond. So we will say N, 1 iodo, prop, ANE, N. So the Iupac nomenclature will be 1 iodo, prop, N. Whenever we have to write more than one number, means when we have to write 1, 2, 3, then we will put comma in between them, and when we are adding letter after the number, we will put hyphen after the number. Okay, so this is the basic rule. Now we will see some other example with two substituent. So in the next case, we have another example with two substituents. Suppose we have CH, CH3, CH3, and here a CN, and here a chlorine. Now we have to give numbering to the carbons. So now we have to select the longest carbon chain here. So we can put numbering like 3 ways here. How? We can put 1, 2, 3, 4, or we can put 1, 2, 3, 4, or we can put 1, 2, 3, 4. Now the question is, which one we will choose. We have to choose the blue one, means 1, 2, 3, 4. Why? Because we have the longest carbon chain here. Look, if we take 1, 2, 3, 4, we have 4 carbon. If we take 1, 2, 3, 4, we have 4 carbon. And in this case also we have 4 carbons. But we have to put the least number to the substituent. So according to this, we have to put chlorine or cyanide the least number. But here in between chlorine and cyanide is the priority group. As cyanide comes prior to chlorine, so we will take the suffix of cyanide. So we will take the cyanide path, as the cyanide path also follows 4 carbon and every path follows 4 carbon. So 4 carbon is the highest number of carbon we can take from that atom. So we will put 1 to cyanide, then 2, 3, 4. We can put the numbering like 1, 2, 3, but we will not do that. If we put 1, 2, 3, then that will be only a 3 carbon thing. So we can't take 3 carbon thing when we have a 4 carbon chain. So we will take 1, 2, 3 and 4. Now look, when we are taking the cyanide as priority group and chlorine as the second priority group, so according our general rule is we have to write the substituent prefix of the substituent first. We have to write the prefix, then we have to write the number of carbon, means neath, eth, prop, but, these things. Then we have to write the suffix of that priority group. Okay, so this is the rule. So take the prefix of chlorine, as this is the second priority group. So we will write with numbering 3 chloro. We will write 3 chloro. Then we will take number of carbon, means this is a 4 carbon chain. So we will take net, eth, prop, but, 3 chloro but. Then comes the prior group, means first priority is cyanide and suffix of cyanide was nitrile. So we will write 3 chloro but. Then after number of carbon we have to add n, in or ine. We will add n here because there is no double bond. So we will write 3 chloro but, n and nitrile. So the name becomes 3 chloro butane nitrile. Okay. So we will move towards a third example. This time I am going to take a 3 substituent example. Like I have NH2 as one substituent, I have OH as other one, and I have CO2H other one. So our general rule will be to choose the longest carbon chain, then give the priorities to the substituents. Now the longest carbon chain we can see here 1, 1, 2, 3, 4. As according to our priority order, CO2H comes first, then comes OH, then comes ammonia. So I put the numbering like that way, 1, 2, 3, 4. So we will take suffix of carboxyl group, means we will take oic acid here, and we will take then hydroxide group, and prefix of hydroxide group is hydroxy, and prefix of NH2 group is amino. Now look, our general rule. What is our general rule here? Our general rule is I have to write the prefix of group with numbering first. Then I have to write the number of carbon chain, number of carbon atom in terms of methane prop. Then I have to add alkane. I have to add in or ine according to the single, double and triple bond. In and ine. Then I have to add the suffix of main group. Okay, so if I take it here, so what we will do, we will write, now we have 4 amino and 2 hydroxy. In between that, what we will do first, amino starts with A, hydroxy starts with H. So we will take amino first. So we will write 4 amino. Then we will put a hyphen again, 2 hydroxy, then 1 2 3 4 carbon, meth it prop but, no double bond, so butane, N, buta, N not N, so we have butane plus oic acid. Okay, oic acid is the suffix of CO2H. So we will write, mutually omitting that any, we will write butanoic acid. So the nomenclature will be 4 amino 2 hydroxy butanoic acid. Okay, so I am moving towards another example. We have double bond and aldehyde group. Suppose we have CH3, CH, double bond, CH and CHO. So our numbering will be like 1, 2, 3 and 4. Because if we start one from here, we can't start that because we have aldehyde group. So we have to take that substituent first, and 1 2 3 4. So this is but. Now according to our general rule, we have to take first any substituent. So here, as we are taking CHO as a main group, so no substituent with respect to CHO. So we will start with the number of carbon chain. So our rule here, number of carbon in terms of meth, eth, prop, but. Then we will put the number at which double bond present, means we have to add in or ine. Then we have to add the suffix of main group. What is this here? Here we have meth, eth, prop, but. Then 2 in, and the suffix of CHO is al, but 2 in al. Or we can write it like 2 butanal, 2 butanal. Okay, we can write it like that also. So this was my nomenclature thing, and in my next video I will tell you about the nomenclature of heteronuclear chemistry, heteronuclear molecules. So that is it for basic organic chemistry. So I will tell you about heteronuclear molecule nomenclature in my next video, and I am continuing the undergraduate syllabus also. So please subscribe and please like and share if this video is helpful to you, and thank you very much for watching.